All right. Welcome everyone again. We are so happy to have you with us. This is Jennifer Goger with the Samoa Tourism Authority here in North America. And we have a special guest with us today. We have Sherrilyn Charles, the Complex Director of Sales and Marketing for both the Sheraton Aggie Grays Resort and the Sheraton Aggie Grays Resort and Hotel, or Hotel and Bungalows, I'm sorry. She will be able to discuss both of those properties a little bit later in the presentation. And actually, what we're going to be talking about today is what's new with Samoa. And really, the new Sheraton property is the newest and most amazing thing that's happening in Samoa. So we're so happy to have Sherry with us to talk about the properties. So as I mentioned, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to shoot them into the box on the little right of your GoToWebinar control panel. And then as we go, we'll be able to answer them at the end. Oops, sorry, my clicker is not working here. There we go. Sorry, everyone. We're having a little clicking issues. Getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Oh my goodness. All right. So here we are. Here's Samoa. It's circled there for you. We think that Samoa is really the heart of the South Pacific. It's located about halfway between Hawaii and New Zealand. You'll see here it's about 5 hours from Honolulu, 4 from Auckland, 2.5 from Fiji, and about 25 minutes from American Samoa. It's really a fantastic dual destination, usually paired with New Zealand or Fiji or Hawaii. Stopping in Hawaii on the way over is a great way to go. The airlines that can get you there, as you see in the top left corner, are Virgin Samoa, which would fly out of Australia, Air New Zealand, which would fly out of New Zealand, and Fiji Airways, which would fly out of Hawaii and Fiji. So here we see the islands of Samoa. There are actually 10 islands. You can see a couple of the smaller ones around the side there. Only 5 of the islands are inhabited. We have the big island of Savaii and the smaller island of Upolu. You see the little airplane indicating Faleolo International Airport. And the capital, Apia, is a little bit above the P in Upolu. That's where the capital of Samoa is. To get between the two islands, it's about 1 hour ferry crossing. And we usually recommend that you book your clients on business class when you take them on the ferry. It's a little bit of a larger ship, making it a comfier ride. It also has indoor seating with air conditioning and light refreshments. And to get from the airport to Lalumanu Beach on the southeast tip of Upolu, just to give you an idea of the distance, it takes about 1.5 hours by car. So it is fairly a large island. Currency and visas. You do need a visa to arrive in Samoa, but it's free and it's issued on arrival. You'll need your passport with 6 months validity. And besides that, everything is good to go. The currency used is a Samoan tala, which is about 2.6 talas to 1 USD. So the most important question we hope to answer with this webinar is how to get your clients to leap out of their seats and come to Samoa. I mean, being a South Pacific island, your clients will, of course, see beautiful white sand beaches and crystal clear blue water. There's lots of other activities, too, that really make it a unique destination. Most of the deluxe properties provide kayaking gear for other non-motorized water sports, such as snorkeling. And really, it's a great way to get out on the water and enjoy the beautiful landscape. Another thing Samoa is known for is the vibrant culture throughout all the islands. No matter where your clients are staying, they really will experience that rich Samoan culture. One place that they're likely to experience it is during a Fia Fia night. And most of the resorts will have a Fia Fia night at least once a week. But make sure when you're booking your clients that you know about the timing on the properties they're staying so that you don't miss it. So this would consist of dancing, fire knife dancing, which originated in Samoa, which is absolutely spectacular. And if by chance your clients are staying in a property that doesn't have a Fia Fia night, then the cultural village in Apia will have cultural demonstrations, including tablecloth making, learning dances, and even traditional Samoan tattooing that your clients can experience. Other popular activities, snorkeling and diving. Visitors will absolutely love it. There are a number of snorkel points all around the islands, so almost everywhere you go, there's great places to see really unique wildlife. For diving, there are 2 main dive operators on Samoa, one on each island. There's Dive Savaii across the street from Leilangoto. It's one of the properties on the north coast. And then Upolu has Aqua Samoa near the Sheraton. And so a lot of times you can drive straight from, or you can dive straight from the shore to get to the dive sites. So it's really convenient for divers. Again, kayaking, fantastic way to get out and explore the water and the sites. Samoa is also a brilliant surf destination. It's really got amazing waves, really for more advanced surfers, though. It's really not for beginning and learning to swim. Of course, along with enjoying the water, clients will bask on Samoa's beautiful white sand beaches. This is Lalumanu Beach that I mentioned a little bit earlier, as you see with its iconic leaning palm. It's one of the most beautiful and pristine beaches in the South Pacific. It's just gorgeous. And this is to give you an idea. One of my colleagues took this photo when she was down in Lalumanu. This is Lalumanu on a crowded day. So you can see there's only a handful of people and one dog. So your clients really will have the run of the beach when they're out there. On the more adventurous side of things, we have Tosua Trench. It's really a unique experience and well worth a visit. It's not far from Lalumanu Beach. Clients would enter this trench. It's about 90 feet. They could dive right in, as you're seeing there. People just jump. But as the trench rises and falls with the current, when it's high, people can jump from the ladder or they can jump from the platform. And when it's low, when the tide goes out, clients can actually swim underneath the lava fields and reach the open ocean. So it's just gorgeous. Even just floating there and looking up at the beautiful foliage around is just gorgeous. Again, just another view. It's really, really spectacular. On Savaii, there are some beautiful blowholes. These really showcase the power of the ocean that it's on that side of the island. This is really what Samoa is about. It's about showcasing the raw beauty of nature. For clients that want to head out of the main islands, you'll see this large island here is Manono Island. And really there's nothing on the island there that's not indigenous to Samoa. So no cars, no cats, nothing like that. Clients can have really local experiences, maybe visiting a local chief and his family, and just it's an extremely beautiful setting and a really nice way to get a taste of the local culture. Another thing that people might do is head to one of the smaller uninhabited islands for a picnic. So essentially they'd have a private island for lunch. It's really a memorable experience. In the interior, you can see fantastic hiking trails and waterfalls, really lush and gorgeous. There are canopy walks as well, lots of different options for exploring the interior and all really very nature-based. For those who want to experience this colonial culture of Samoa, head to Villa Vailima. This is the former home of Robert Louis Stevenson. So many of you will know that he wrote Treasure Island, Kidnapped, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but you may not know that he spent a lot of time in Samoa, and he actually decided to spend his final years here and is actually buried behind the villa on the top of Mount Vaiama. His house has been converted to a museum, and it's a spectacular experience, giving you a glimpse into his life, but also showing you how the Samoan people maintain their culture throughout the years into current times. So although there's a number of accommodations that you could possibly go to in Samoa, what I'd love you to see now is this new Sheraton. So we'll have Sherry come back with us and give you a great overview of both of those Sheraton properties, Samoa Aggie Grays Resort and the hotel and bungalows. Sherry, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for the lovely intro of Samoa, the beautiful island of Samoa, and welcome to all of you on this call. So my name is Shez. I am responsible for both the properties here on the island being Sheraton, so the Sheraton Resort and the Sheraton Hotel. But today I will start on the Sheraton Resort with you. There's a little bit of a time lag with the slides. We'll see how we go. Yeah. So as you can see from the layout here of the resort, it's quite widespread, but in a nice way. When I say nice way is, you know how sometimes with a resort, especially when they're on the ocean, there's rooms that have an ocean view and there's rooms that have a garden view. And the ones that get booked in the garden view always feel left out, right? So the good news is with our resort, all the rooms are ocean view. They're all ocean front. So as you can see, you've got the main building here right in the middle, and then you've got the two wings coming off it with 3 blocks on either side. And as I said, all the rooms face the ocean, which is fantastic. A lot of areas to swim directly from the beach, but we've also got a very big, beautiful pool right in the middle with a swim-up pool bar. Okay, so this is actually the main entrance to the resort. You will find that a lot of the buildings in Samoa actually have a very open air feel, which is very conducive to the climate and to the surroundings as well. So this is a good example of it. In the rooms, etc., of course, it's all air conditioned. But as soon as you get into the restaurants and into the main buildings, the public areas, you'll find that they oftentimes have very high ceilings and all open air. The beauty of Samoa is that there's a lot of winds, a nice breeze pretty much throughout the day, picking up probably more in the evenings. So it's actually quite perfect. You never feel super hot. This is another example of that really open air feeling. Our lobby bar to the right. So what has happened with the resort is we have done a big refit probably about 18 months ago. So the resort reopened in March of last year. And as you can see, it's got a real nice modern Sheraton look going on, while still, keeping in touch with the heritage and the cultural side of Samoa. Okay, it seems to be going back.
Oh, Sherry, oops.
Sorry,
I
it's going.
think you're going the wrong
Yeah,
way.
yeah. Well, it's
Okay, it's going the right way
pushing to the left now, and it's going to the right, so that's okay. So this is our actually living room here. As I said, all have ocean view. And to be honest, because I arrived only 3 weeks ago to the island, I'm brand new in this role, and it's really awe-inspiring. You literally stand there on that balcony, and you can't help but stop staring at the ocean view because it's absolutely stunning. I find it very hard to describe, but if I had to describe it the best way, it's very pristine. It's very like a lot of islands like Hawaii or Fiji, how they used to be back in the day. So it's quite untouched. The color of the water is absolutely stunning. It's a bit of an emerald color, not blue, not quite green, but sort of in between. Now, the room that I'm showing you here is actually a twin room and very American setup, as per Sheraton brand, of course. So it's actually queen, which means that the beds are quite large. And you could fit, if people are willing to share the bed as a queen, it can fit two people in there. But it's a good look for you in terms of what the room configuration is like. This is an example of our bathroom. Yeah, it pretty much has all the mod cons in there, and it's actually a shower over bath, which is lovely. But this is the title here says New Beginnings because it shows you the refit, what we've done. So a brand new bathroom in all the rooms. This is one of our highest room categories. So you've got the executive one bedroom suite, which is actually twice the size of our normal rooms. So our normal rooms are 40 square meters. The one bedroom suite is double the size. So it's 80 square meters, and it literally is two rooms flowing into each other, so to speak. So just through the doorway there, you can see the bedroom. And then on the left, that is where the seating area is. And again, of course, that stunning view with the balcony overlooking the ocean. This is an example of a suite bathroom. Of course, a suite being the higher room category, it's got that stunning bathtub in there. Um, Bathtubs always make me laugh a little bit in the tropics, but you'd be surprised how many people actually ask for it. Also nice, of course, for families traveling with children. You know, it's always nice for them to be able to have that bath. But a stunning bathroom, very large in size as well, again. So it gives you a little bit of space. Our average length of stay at the resort is between 4 and 7 nights. So it's quite nice to have that space to move around if you stay that many nights. Um, we're very big, sorry, it's gone too quick. We're very big on weddings at the resort. Again, it's very exclusive, very, you know, back to how things used to be. So it's certainly not, you know, what you see in some places where we churn couple after couple. We generally only have a couple a day, if you know, if any. But the American market, I think, is similar to the Europeans and the Australian, New Zealanders, where people seem to be looking at destination weddings a little bit more rather than having a big, massive commercial party at home. So they invite all their family, and if I say all their family, usually the size is about 30 to 40 people. Now, I don't know how many of you actually organize weddings as well, but we can certainly help you on our end. Of course, the booking will be all yours, but in terms of the logistics and you know what you need for the celebrant, etc., we have wedding specialists here on site that can help you with all the inquiries for that. So this is a really good example. If you look at the ceiling of this particular venue, that is very typical Samoa. So it's very traditional, and you know, really touching back to their cultural roots as well. It's absolutely beautiful. And again, that high ceiling, so it allows for a breeze and nice flow through it. This is our clubhouse. Now, I need to say to you, the golf course at the moment is not in use, and neither is there a restaurant in the clubhouse at the moment. Some of you might do group bookings. This is actually a great venue space for cocktail functions, maybe pre-dinner drinks, etc. You can see the higher floor there where people actually will have their drinks, etc. It's a big open space. And then there's a deck. You can see that to the right there, overlooking the pond, which again is fantastic, you know, just for a nice outdoor function up there. We have a gym at the property. I laugh sometimes because I think that's probably one of the most beautiful views I have ever seen of a gym. But it's actually the rainforest that is surrounding all the resort. The gym is open 24/7. What I mean by that is you can actually access it with your room key. So you can go in there anytime you prefer. It's fully air conditioned, and it's got a sauna in there as well. The spa, which is actually an integral part of the resort, it's stunning, very Polynesian style. Again, it's got the open air huts, and we've got a combination of either single treatment rooms or double treatment rooms. So you can do it as a couple or mom and daughter, for example, for a bit of bonding time. But we have single setups as well. This is again referring back to groups. We have a meeting room at the property as well. Again, that beautiful ceiling, which is typical Samoan, and fitting up to about 120 people in this space. So a nice compact size. The resort, to be honest, would attract more incentive groups rather than proper conference groups. Kids Club. Pleased to say that we're the only kids club on the island. None of the other properties have a kids club, but as you all know, I don't know how familiar you are with the Sheraton brand. It's very Sheraton. So we've got a kids club running on the property. It runs from 9 to 5. and meals can be included at an additional charge as well. But the Kids Club itself is free of charge and run by beautiful Samoan ladies that do all sorts of lovely activities with the kids, arts and crafts as well. This is a pool that I was pointing out to you before. It's massive. It's sort of in between the actual resort building and the beach. So for people that are not too keen on swimming in the ocean, they've got a big choice of this pool to lounge around. And you'll find that a lot of guests will literally spend their days here, you know, reading magazines, really getting away from it all, just have cocktails. As I said, we have a swim-up bar there as well. So going into the hotel and bungalows, the real differentiation between the two properties, if you had to explain it to a guest or one of your customers, is that the resort is directly at the airport. It's literally a 5-minute drive away. So for someone that doesn't want to travel again once they've landed, it's a great option. And also, of course, the fact that it's really resort style. So here in the Pacific, we call it a flop and drop. So people that just want to get to a resort and literally lie by the beach or by the pool for seven days just because they need that relaxing time. The hotel and bungalows, however, is located near Apia. Jennifer mentioned Apia in her introduction. It's actually the main town of Samoa, and it's a little bit more hustle and bustle, of course. When I say that, don't expect anything city-like. It's a little town, but you know, you still got all your shops, etc. there. Now, the hotel and bungalows only reopened 2 months ago. Same story. We did a complete refit of the property. So this is the entrance here, the big lobby. To the left, you'll have a deli, which is actually open 24/7 because we have a real flow through of people throughout the entire day. And then at the right is where we have our reception check-in counters. The lobby lounge, it's very happening. You know, you've got a nice bar there. We've got live music every day. It actually changes. Sometimes we've got the Samoan guitarist with a little bit of singing. And sometimes we've got a Samoan lady that sings. She's a really good entertainer. Actually, she's got a great voice. So yeah, free entertainment every night. This is the mezzanine level, sort of at the back of the lobby area. This is more referring to groups. If you have groups that want to come through, this is again great for cocktail function or pre-dinner drinks. From an FIT traveler perspective, this is a lovely area to just sit around and have some downtime. If you don't want to sit in air condition all day, this is gorgeous. It's almost like a big old colonial style veranda down the back of our lobby. Our guest rooms, they're all, to be honest with you, quite similar in style on the inside. They just vary. We've got quite a few room categories at this property, but when I say room categories, they literally vary in the views and also the sizes of them. But when I say size differentiations, it's very little. Like, you know, one will be 40 square meters and the other one maybe 41 or 42. So it's just the way we did follow the original building. So that's just the way it's been set up. But as you can see, a very neat, typical Sheraton room. The bathrooms, they all have this where they have the separate shower. No, sorry, I lied. They either have this where they have a separate bathtub and a separate shower, or they have the shower over bath. But they all have a bathtub in them. So again, great for especially families with little children to have their baths in the evenings. Main pool at the hotel. It also has a swim-up bar. You know, you can't not have a swim-up bar in a tropical location, I guess, with a pool. To give you a bit of an idea, this main pool is smack bang in the middle of the property. So the property is sort of in an O size, with all the rooms looking back into the middle. So they're all overlooking either the garden area or the pool. Our main restaurant, Feast. Feast is very much a signature name for all the Sheraton restaurants here in the Pacific. Most of you will be familiar with our Fiji properties. And of course, the Sheraton Fiji has a Feast restaurant as well. So if people have breakfast included in their stay, this is where they have it. We have a mixture of buffet and a la carte in this restaurant. And it actually offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Jennifer earlier mentioned the Via Via night. Between the two properties at the, I'll just go back one sec. At the resort, the Via Via night is on Friday nights, and the hotel it's on Wednesday nights. Now, the Via Via night is pretty spectacular. It's got this huge buffet with all the local delicacies on the buffet, but also a lot of, standard food like potatoes and pasta, etc. But what is really nice about it is about half an hour into the start of the buffet, that is when the show starts, the Via Via show. So it's beautiful dancers and great entertainment. There's an MC that sort of jokes around with the guests, etc. We also pull up guests onto stage, so they do a little bit of dancing themselves, and it's very nice and interactive. And then the show is actually finished off by a fire show. I don't know if we have slides on that, but I'll point it out to you a bit later. This is the fine dining restaurant at the hotel and bungalows. So apart from Feast Restaurant, it's got Aggie Grace by Peter Kuravita. Peter Kuravita is a bit of a celebrity chef in Australia and New Zealand, and he's helped set up the Feast Restaurant in Fiji, and he's exactly replicated that here at the hotel and bungalows in Samoa as well. The food is very exquisite. It's really chef-style cuisine, and you can do anything from a romantic dinner to a full-blown degustation menu. This is the Sheraton Club. Again, very familiar for most of you that normally book Sheratons. It's not quite open yet, but we're due to open in the next month or so. But this is sort of on the side of the mezzanine level that I showed you before. And of course, again, it's very typical, like your platinum SPG guests, etc. They get access to this directly, but some of the room types will have this attached to it as well as an inclusion of their stay. Sheraton Club Food and Beverage. I don't think I need to elaborate on that. It's quite self-explanatory, but it goes throughout the whole day. There's literally snacks, etc. throughout the whole day that people have access to. And then, of course, there's the sort of happy hour in the evening as well. The Sheraton Ballroom, just for those of you that actually do book rooms, it's a beautiful space overlooking the harbor of Apia. It seats up to maximum 300 people, banquet style. But yeah, keep that in mind if you have anyone coming over, especially from the west coast of the US. This is the harbor view room here, slightly smaller to the ballroom. If you have any queries for group inquiries, please reach out to me. Jennifer will share my contact details with you later, and I'll be more than happy to help you in terms of the sizing of the space and the meeting packages that we offer. Boardroom, again, quite straightforward. We've got a few actually. Pre-function area, so this is where people will have morning and afternoon tea during their meetings.
All right.
And it sort of concludes my webinar. I just wanted to highlight, and I always do this when you have any customer that is VIP for you, be it a return guest or someone that just books a lot of trips with you, don't ever be shy. Just reach out to me and say, hey, Sherrilyn, is there anything special that you can do for my guests? And it's absolutely no skin off my nose. So you tell me, would they like a bottle of bubblies and I don't know, chip chocolate dip, mango slices or whatever. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. I'll put a card with there and saying that it's compliments of whoever, whatever your name is and your travel agency name. So keep that in mind. It's a big selling tool, and it makes you look really good as well in terms of tying your guests to you. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much. That was a really thorough presentation that I love seeing all the different room types, the different function spaces, and the restaurants, everything else that the properties both have to offer. It was really fantastic. So if anyone has any questions specifically about the properties or anything about Samoa in general, please feel free to type them into the question box on the right-hand side there. And I see we've got a couple coming in, so I will start reading them out. Sherrilyn, would you be able to answer for us about the times to visit Samoa? So what are some busy times for you? What are some less busy times?
To be honest, because we're very, how do I say this, like holiday style. It's not like we're in the city like Sydney or Auckland where you really have your peaks and troughs. It's pretty much throughout the entire year because we get all the different geographic source markets and people have different school holidays in different countries, right? So in terms of that being, having a peak period or a low period, there isn't really one as such. But weather-wise, our wetter period is probably January, February. And then the rest of the year is a lot drier. We always have the high humidity, of course, still being quite close to the equator. But like I mentioned previously, there's always a nice breeze. And in terms of showers, they literally are showers. So very tropical style, it'll be a heavy shower for maybe 10, 15 minutes. And then it'll stop and everything clears up again. What you'll find as well that a lot of showers will happen throughout the night, which is even better. So that gives you a bit of an idea.
Great. Another question is, can you give us an idea of pricing on both of the properties?
Yeah, it differs between the occupancy of the property. So I don't know how most of you guys book, but the best thing is to reach out to me directly, and I will help you out. Most of the wholesalers in the US that we work with already have our best net rates. So I'm trying to think of one that we work with.
Like go in.
I can't think of it right now. Yeah, Go Holidays we definitely work with as well. But yeah, reach out through them and you can make the bookings with them and they will have the best rates.
Fantastic. And there's another question that says, from the West Coast, would you fly on Air New Zealand? Yes, you.
That is a very good question. Yeah, there's a myriad of options. I've heard of people that actually fly through Hawaii, which is actually a good option, I think. But also, yeah, Air New Zealand, definitely. You will fly via Auckland and then come directly to Samoa. That is actually the closest mainland flight-wise. It's about 3.5 hours from Auckland to Apia.
Great. And I think that's all the questions that we have. And so as a reminder to everyone, I will be, oops, we do have one more. Go Holiday. Okay, sorry, not a question. But I will have this recording sent to you after the webinar is completed. It'll also have Sherrilyn's contact information. And as she said, please don't hesitate to reach out to her. Any questions you have about pricing, or if you wanted to talk to your wholesalers directly, they should be able to offer you pricing. It's also going to have the link to the recorded webinar for you to possibly share with some of your colleagues if you think that this property is really interesting, that you might want them to be aware of, especially those that sell the South Pacific. I think everyone should be aware that we've got these beautiful Sheraton properties in Samoa that not a lot of people are familiar with. So again, thank you, Sherrilyn. I hope everyone really enjoyed this. It was really fantastic for us. And we thank you very much for joining and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.